It doesn't work. It just keeps the. Hello and good evening. I don't know if anyone is there. Very sorry. We've had to start again. I don't understand technology. I'm a complete ignoramus when it comes to technology. I don't think anyone's actually listening to me anyway, so I don't know why I'm even bothering to speak. But there we go. Here we are yet again. But nobody is tuning in. So I don't think any of you are actually there. I do apologize. You've got one like. Oh, well, that must mean somebody is there. Very sorry to you. Hello, Chili Karen. Hello, Carol Taylor Hines. Thank you for your patience. I do apologize. This system is totally inept, in my view. I don't know how it works. It's kept saying going live, going live, going live. Wasn't that something to do with that dreadful man, Philip Schofield? He was going live, wasn't he, once? Look where that ended up. Philip Schofield. Dreadful piece of toe rag. There we are. So anyway, hello and good evening to you all. I can't be here long because I have to attend a meeting. But anyway, I just wanted to talk to you briefly and say hello, and also to bring up the matter of the second fake Madeline. Can you believe it? There's now another one. You know, as Brenda from Bristol would say, oh my Lord, not another one. It's an absolute outrage. These people who have encouraged the fake Madeline, Julia Wandel, who is now trying, supposedly, according to her PR person, Surjit Singh Clare, a convicted criminal, to get herself an emergency bail, and she's crowdfunding via GoFundMe. Well, he is. Obviously, she can't because she's in a prison cell where she belongs. But this little madam who has harassed those McCanns. Now, I don't like those McCanns, as you all know, but I don't think harassment of people is correct. I don't think you should go around doorstepping people at their homes. And I don't think you should be harassing their children, the brother and sister of missing Madeline, via Instagram. So I think that Julia Wandel deserves to remain incarcerated until her hearing on the 7th of April. That is exactly where she should remain. She is a person of unsound mind who dared come to England to harass people and was encouraged by various people. Now, I've had a message from a man who is a friend of Julia Wandel, and he wanted to make clear that he did not encourage her, so I'm going to say his name. His name was Ron Swanson. He is very clear that he did not encourage her to come to the UK. He claims that he never said, that she was Madeleine McCann. He just wants to get her some help. Now, Mr. Swanson is a perfectly pleasant gentleman and has left me several pleasant messages. And, I'm not suggesting Mr. Swanson is responsible for Julia Wandel or whatever her name is on a Wednesday to come to the UK. But all of these people have shared her information, such as this Surjit Singh Clare, convicted criminal, who has represented the stains on humanity, such as Maxine Carr, Soham murder of 2 innocent children who were drowned in a bathtub by her partner, and then she covered it up. Disgusting woman. And then she gets a new identity. Disgusting. And he's prepared to work with her. And he also represented Karen Matthews, the woman with the body the child under the bed, another scumbag. This man, Surjit Singh Clare, he is repugnant. He is disgusting, and he has been using social media to send out missives asking for things for his little client. Now, he has said, many of you are worried about Julia's mental health. Well, what about the mental health of the McCann family who are being harassed? Now, whether you think the McCanns are innocent or guilty of anything, I certainly don't think they should have ever gotten away with leaving their children unattended. But that's another matter. This man has got a bee in his bonnet about the mental health of Julia. I've made sure Julia is monitored 24 hours a day. Well, she probably should be, because she's unsound of mind. I'm a journalist. I don't believe he's a journalist. He's a PR person, and he's being paid, and he's making money out of this situation. He adds, but because I like Julia and care, pull the other one, mate. I've gone beyond my normal duties. Ooh, wow. And to make sure Julia has lawyers, a place to stay, a job, and money, and she's looked after. So please do not over worry. As I can see, I have everything under control. Yes, this is a man who was convicted of blackmail, basically, and was sent to prison for 3 years. He is not a pleasant individual. He is an unpleasant man. He was extremely rude to myself and Lady Min, who is sitting here, your dear friend, Lady Min, on the phone. He was very rude about her coming from South Africa. He was extremely rude to me. He used the F word to me when I simply asked him a few questions. Anyway, he says, I'm also in touch with her boyfriend, Adam. Oh, well, why didn't he fly into the UK with her? And her closest friends. I hope the information makes you feel less anxious. What is this? This is some kind of woke nonsense. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely shocking and appalling. I think that this whole little scam should be ended. Now, Mr. Swanson, I think, is a very well-meaning man who has been taken in by this lunatic. This girl is not Madeleine McCann, and the DNA of the McCann family is with the police in Portugal and the police of Operation Grange and all the rest. And this girl has gone around doing what she's doing. She ain't Madeleine McCann. She's nobody. The lady in America, she got it right. This Dr. Fear, good for her. And this Dr. Phil, she went there thinking she could be clever. And now there's another one. As Brenda from Bristol, again, I would say, not another one. Anyway, the fake Maddie Mark II, Eugenia Collins from Arkansas, she sounds even more nuts. She's got some father who's an alleged paedophile. What connection does she have with Praia de Luz? What connection does she have with Leicestershire? What connection does she have with all of this? They all look onto this and then they think, oh, there's a bit of money to make. That's all these people ever do. These scumbag people are scum of the earth. They are shameful and disgraceful. And look, you should never go around making things up, because the big bad wolf will come and catch you. You will get caught. You'll get a bite in the bum and you will be caught. It doesn't work out in the end. Most people who tell lies get caught. And these two liars are exactly that, and shame on them. I think it's utterly mad. And then it gets worse. These lunatics who support this mad woman, Julia, their latest nonsense is that they think that Madeline was created using George Soros's DNA. I won't go into the weird route that they talk about, because it's actually extremely offensive to George Soros, who is an extremely brilliant man, a clever man, and has achieved a lot in his life, whether you like or not. You can't deny that the man is a huge success. Oh, his eye looks a bit like Madeline, so therefore this is the creation. This is exactly what they've come out with. Anyway, I won't humor them anymore with the details, but they think that Kate McCann isn't the mother. Da, 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 da. They have many theories. It's all to do with skulls and bones and complete conspiracy theory. Most conspiracy theories are a load of old rot. We all like to look at a film about a conspiracy theory, but it doesn't mean it's true. So, absolute nonsense from all of that. Anyway, I thank you all for being here, and there's quite a lot of you. If you have any questions about that particular set of lunatics, please ask me. I haven't got too long because I have to go to a meeting about the Jeremy Bamber case. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I've been doing there. I have published an article last week about Jeremy Bamber, and his case is going to be reviewed by the CCRC. I hope you've all read the article by the New Yorker, which is far better than anything I could have ever written. But Jeremy Bamber's case needs to be reviewed on the basis of the fact that this CCRC have taken so many years not to look at any of the evidence. They've had since 2021 to look at 9 pieces of evidence. They've managed to look at 3 pieces of evidence. That is utterly wrong. They need to speed up. It's absolutely wrong. And allegedly, because of the Andrew Malkinson case, a man who spent 17 years in jail for 2003 rape he did not commit, and then they asked him to pay for his board and lodgings in prison. How dare they? And Helen Pitcher, KC, OBE, who was, living La Vida Loca in Montenegro at the expense of her work on the CCRC, whilst the poor workers were doing 45 cases each with no help. It's no wonder the CCRC doesn't deal with people who are clearly innocent. There are many people who are convicted who are innocent. There are many people who are convicted who are guilty, but the CCRC is there as the only body you can go to who will help you if you're innocent. You have no right to go anywhere else, and the CCRC ought to deal with Jeremy Bamber's case. It is totally and utterly wrong that they have taken so long. Now, I think, this finger off the pulse organization where, the head honcho Pitcher was dining at the Ivy, fine wines, lobster dinners, post-dinner brandies. And, she was off to parties at the Royal Courts of Justice and all the rest of it. Whilst, another man, Charles Thompson, reported recently on an East End man called Jason Moore, who even the family of the victim say he's not the man who did. And still they don't listen. It's not just Jeremy Bamber who's suffering, but Jeremy Bamber's case needs to be reviewed. And the reasons for the review are the 6:09 phone call from outside the house. If Jeremy Bamber was stood outside the house at 6:09 a.m. with police officers and there was movement inside the house, then Jeremy Bamber is innocent because somebody was alive in that house and was moving around, and that means they're the killer. So you've got it wrong, CCRC. So I'm going to be going on a thing with them. It's a private thing this evening, but that's why I had to come in quickly. But I will save Lord Evans and Meghan Markle. I suppose I can do a bit of Meghan Markle because you all love a bit of Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle #American Psycho is trending again on Twitter. Now, Meghan Markle is trying to become Pamela Anderson. She's trying to be this wholesome housewife with a program because Pamela Anderson is doing a program from Canada. weirdly, I'm sitting in a very house where a chef wanted to rent it, who happened to be someone who owned a restaurant with Pamela Anderson, but he fell out with her and he ended up in a big problem in Paris in the lockdowns. He was a very strange man as well, but he might have been a great person to work with Meghan Markle because he was a bit of a fantasist also. But Meghan Markle is crossing the line yet again. You know, who cares about what Meghan Markle can cook up? Because it doesn't even seem to be cooked in her own home. It's not even her own recipe. As for that jam, she didn't boil the jam. She didn't make the jam. She is one big jam. She's a jammed up pain in the arse. And I don't like Meghan Markle, and she should bog off. I know you like me saying bog off, so there you go. So there we go. Anyway, there we are. So if you've got any questions, we'll need them quickly because we're going to do our little quiz. I think because I haven't got much time, and I'm very, very sorry that there's technical difficulties, but we got there in the end. We always do. You hear Alex Belfield is coming out soon. Yes, Alex Belfield Lee is an appalling person, an absolutely disgusting harasser of people. Would I like to be doing an interview with Alex Belfield? No, thank you. I will never, ever promote such horrible criminals as Alex Belfield. He's a disgusting harasser of people. And, his associate, Katie Hopkins. I have spent time with Katie Hopkins. I have met her. I weirdly met her with Peter Mandelson, of all people. Very strange group. But there we go. Right, Anthea Turner quiz. Anthea Turner won't be featuring in today's quiz, but Anthea's still not got married, and I believe her ex-husband is opening a restaurant with some Italian chef in Mayfair. I believe it may have already opened. God knows what's going on with him. He got high on mushrooms and bit a police officer's nose and ended up doing community service. That's dear Anthea. Our Anth always seems to pull up the goods along with her mate, Lizzie Cundy, and all the rest of them, all the bimbos of that type. Right. Is the restaurant called Swinger? It jolly well ought to be, yes. I could quite concur. That could be quite a funny name for a restaurant associated with our Anth. Anyway, right. Right. Leave Meghan alone. Right, says Trevor. Oh, well, you're entitled to your view. I'm entitled to give my views. I'm a friend of Samantha Markle, and I like Samantha. I don't like Meghan Markle. I don't like how she treated the Queen. I don't like how she treated the rest of the royal family. I don't like how she treated Great Britain, actually. I think Meghan Markle is a piece of scum, and she should bog off. There's another one to go for you. I hope she goes to live in Canada because, as even Donald Trump said, I'm not going to deport Prince Harry because he's got enough trouble with his terrible wife. And she is terrible. She's absolutely awful. Anyway, it's wonderful to have you all here. There's quite a lot of you. Anyway, I'm going to do my little quiz. I don't know who's going to help me moderate this little quiz, but there we go. We'll just go along with it. You can see who gets the most answers. I will have to just guess because I don't think we've got the wonderful assistant here, the Debbie McGee for the evening. Okay, so which country has the highest life expectancy? The first person to get the answer is the winner of, in my feed, of course, is the winner. It is not China, and it's not Anthea Turner, and it's not Japan. No, it's not Japan, it's not New Guinea, and it's not Switzerland. Oh dear, we're not doing very well here. Am I H.G. Tudor, you ask? Meanwhile, no, I'm not H.G. Tudor. I know who that person is, but I know who that account is on Twitter, but I don't know. We still haven't had a correct answer. It's not Peckham either, no. It's not a Greek island. It's not Italy. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to say nobody wins this question because we will run out of time otherwise. The answer is Hong Kong. So nobody gets a point on that one. So there we go. What is the most common surname in the United States of America? It is not America. Thank you, Susan. Spill your tea. Great name. Susan, spill your tea. It is not Biden either, and it's not Jones. It's not Anthea Turner. We've already had Jones repeatedly. It's not Murphy. You know, there were lots of Irish who came in, but the winner, we've got Mother Duck. Mother Duck gets 1 point. I hope Lady Min can remember it's Mother Duck wins with Smith. Mother Duck got there first, though Chili Karen got there second. Right, the next question. Who was the ancient Greek god of the sun? It wasn't D'Souza, no. Paws, Claws, and Jaws gets a point with Apollo. Well done to Paws, Jaws, Claws, and Jaws. How many minutes are in a full week? I'll have it to the nearest 1,000 because I'm sure many of you don't know exactly. It wasn't Anthea Turner. No. It's not 16,253. It's nowhere near that. So it's not 50,000 therefore either. Right. Well, T-Gun gets it with 10,000. It's exactly 10,080. So we've got 3 people with 1 point. That's all we've got thus far. Right. Aurelian is a shade of what color? It is not brown. It's not black. It's not grey. No. Perhaps none of you know the answer to this question. It's not Anthea Turner. Min thinks it's blue. She's wrong. It's not green. But Ange B, who gets a point, gets it right with yellow. How many faces does a doda? Oh gosh, I can't pronounce this. Dodecahedron have? A dodecahedron have? I should have checked this quiz before I started it. How many faces does it have? A dodecahedron. How many faces? No. 10, no. It doesn't have a face of Anthea Turner, and nor does it have 10,000. It's not got 20. T-Gun gets a second point with 12. I think T-Gun's already got 1 point. I can't keep monitoring these points very well. What is I thought I'd have someone here helping me, but we don't. What is the 4th letter of the Greek alphabet? Mother Duck is counting the points. Thank you, Mother Duck. How many? What is the 4th letter of the Greek alphabet? The winner is Chili Karen with Delta. Right. What company was initially known as Blue Ribbon Sports? I say cheers to you with a glass of rosé. Here we are in the south of France, so we have to have rosé. It wasn't Anthea Turner and it wasn't Adidas. No. Beats and Tapes gets the point with Nike or Nike, whatever you want to pronounce it as. What art form is described as decorative handwriting or handwritten lettering? Any answers? Paws and claws and jaws gets another point with calligraphy. So paws and jaws and claws, or whatever your paws, claws and jaws, you're doing very well. Right, next one. Which software company is headquartered in Redmond, Washington? Redmond, Washington software company. It is not Apple. Paws, claws, and jaws gets yet another point. Paws, claws, and jaws is doing extremely well. Microsoft. How many dots appear on a pair of dice? It is not 3. Nicholas says too many. Beats and Tapes says 24, which is not correct. Trevor thinks Anthea Turner appears on them. We've got lots of 21s, but that's not correct. But Pauline gets the point. 42. The next question. What is acrophobia a fear of? It is not lots, but I think you might be talking about the dice. It's not spiders. It's not Anthea Turner. I know you think everything's about Anthea Turner, but unfortunately, Nana Buster gets it with heights. December the 26th is known by what name in Ireland? Boxing Day in Britain. What is it known as in Ireland? The winner is Nicola with St. Stephen's Day. Nicola gets the point. Nicola gets the point. Right. What phone company produced the 3310? A phone that is favoured by Lady Min over here. It was her favourite phone. The 3310 Nokia. There we go. Nicola got it with Nokia. What is the world's largest retailer? Paws, Claws, and Jaws gets another point with Walmart. Paws, Claws, and Jaws is doing very well. So I hope Mother Duck's noting this all down. Thank you, Mother Duck. You're a great mother and a great duck. There we go. Which day of the week does the Jewish Sabbath begin? Ange B gets the point with Friday. Thank you, Ange B. Right. What is a word, phrase, number, or other sequence of characters that reads the same backward as forward? Ange B gets it again with a palindrome. A palindrome is a wonderful thing. There's lots of wonderful palindromes out there. I wish I had more time to talk about palindromes because I think they're fascinating. It's not Anthea Turner's legs, no. What's the name of the Chinese philosophical system that emphasizes harmony with nature? And it's not Anthea Turner, before any of you ask. I think poor Anthea, has had quite enough abuse from us for tonight. It's not Walmart, and it's not Yin Yang. It's not Zen. It's not Feng Shui. It's not Anthea Turner's legs. It's not Yin and Yang. Trevor seems to rather like Anthea Turner's legs, it seems. I don't know. And good evening from Hive Kent. Good evening to Jack Smith in Hive Kent. No, we don't seem to be getting anyone with an answer on that one either. We've got to hurry up because we're running out of time. So Communist Pingu gets it with Taoism. It's Taoism. Okay, the next question. What is Bonnie Blake, a real name Tia Bellinger, infamous for? Bonnie Blake. She's been in the news quite a lot lately, Bonnie Blake. Okay, well, Communist Pingu gets it. Sleeping with too many men. Yes, possibly is the description. No, Bonnie Blake slept with 1,054 men in 12 hours in January in Portland Place in London at the home of Lord Eddie Davenport. So there we go. Not a very pleasant young lady. Anyway, the next question. How much was the convicted criminal fraudster coffin dodger Bernie Ecclestone fined in 2023 for having failed to declare a £416 million trust to Her Majesty's Revenue and Custom in 2023? I need the exact number. This is the final question. Not enough, says Nicola. Quite correct, Nicola. He was also given a suspended jail sentence of 17 months. But what was the fine on the £416 million fraud? It wasn't 1.5 million, no. And you're right, Claire Louise. Bonnie Blake does deserve mental help, yes. As does the fake Madeline pair. It wasn't 5 million, no. It wasn't 400 million and 49p. Communist Pingo is close with 650 million, but I did ask for an exact number. Nicola asked, do I get a point for not enough? Well, you don't, because it wasn't that. It was 700 million, says Mother Duck. No, that's dollars. It wasn't a billion, but he didn't get fined a night with Anthea Turner, but that would have been quite suitable. Communist Pingo says 651 million now. Well, you are very close. It was 652 million, so you can have the point for that. You're within the room. So, Mother Duck, who is the winner of our quiz, please? Mother Duck, if you have an answer, that would be very helpful. The winner is Pause Clause, and it's all disappeared above. So well done to Pause. So tonight's winner is Pause. And thank you all very much for joining in with that. Tomorrow I'll try and come on this thing I will try not to remove my setup so that it can be done more easily. Moving my computer around today for the sake of going to a meeting with some stupid, mad French official has messed the system up. So I will try and leave the system as it is, and then maybe it might work a little more easily. But I thank you very much. And as for the story of the fake Maddies, please don't believe what you see out there. It's all a load of rubbish. These two are scammers and grifters, and they are not to be encouraged. And I respect the right of people like Mr. Ron Swanson to support this woman, but this man, Surjit Singh Clare, is a criminal fraudster who has been in jail. He has represented the stains on humanity, who are the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst, because all he is a grifter. And he had the cheek to put the phone down on me, and he claims he's a journalist. He's not. He's a nobody. He should go back to his bus park in Walsall or wherever he comes from and stay there. He's an awful, awful man. And he is actually manipulating that young woman who is clearly mentally unsound and may well be sectioned if if she isn't convicted. I think she should be convicted because harassment is a terrible crime. I do believe that is a terrible thing. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk about Lord Evans of Watford and his son, the Honourable Richard Evans, but there'll probably be further developments today. Another good investigation by The Guardian. The Guardian does a lot of good work. I'm not a left-wing person, but The Guardian actually is one of the few newspapers that bothers to look into stories, and it spends time, and it does these good long reads. That is what we all need. We need more of those and less of this sensationalist, sidebar of shame that the Mail does. I love the Mail too. The Mail does good work, and the Sun, I worked with them the other day on this grifter, this fake Maddie. But the world needs more serious journalism that takes some time. I'm investigating the story of a £50 million house that's now for sale for £21 million, and I've discovered it's all connected to Q8. I have very good people working with me, mortgage brokers on this one, other things. The world has to be about a fact is not a fact till you've proven it's a fact. And these people who are supporting the fake Madeleines, they don't do that. They're just allowing this lunatic to come out with a load of nonsense. The DNA, if the glove don't fit, acquit, as they say. In this case, 69% DNA. It's hardly conclusive, really. It's not 99.5%, is it? So anyway, that's my view on that. But I thank Mr. Swanson for communicating and giving his view, and I wish everybody a very, very happy evening. And now I'm going to go off and join these Jeremy Bamber people, and I will update you about what I hear tomorrow. Thank you ever so much, and have a wonderful evening. And thank you for your patience with my technically inept stupidity and my inability to understand numbers because I'm numerically dyslexic. I am totally useless. I can do words, but I can't do numbers. Anyway, may I wish you a great night, and may I say good gardening and have a wonderful time. And cheers to you. And Lady Min says,
good night.
No. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. So cheers from both of us. Thank you very much. And there we go. Bye-bye.